Welcome to Home Built Workshop. Welcome to Wednesday Live. How's everybody doing? Do you like my little intro countdown? 3, 2, 1. Why is it not showing? It's not showing the preview there. Oh, that's weird. Huh. Oh, there it is. Okay. Whew. All right. Never mind. We're good. We're good. Good to go. What's going on? How's everybody doing? You can't see the chat. That's kind of important for the live here. We got to get that there. What is everybody up to today? There we go. Get this chat over here. Come on. Come on. Okay, there we go. Whew, don't worry. Don't worry. We're good. We're good. What's up? What's up? Sam's here. Sam says hello, everyone. Robert says hello, people. Hope everyone's staying safe and healthy. He says, there he is. Yes, we are here. And look who's here, Neptunes. Neptunes, what's going on? What are you doing? How's it going? Right on. Glad you could stop by. That's awesome. Whoop, whoop. Sam says, Jeff needs Sheldon Cooper. I'm guessing that's like some computer thing. Sam says, Neptunes, hello. Neptunes, what's going on? What's going on in your world? How's things going? Right on, everybody. As we get settled in here to hang out, have some fun, talk about stuff. How everybody's doing. Neptune says, I'm taking 16 days off work. I'll be here the next 3 lives. Whoa, dude. Nice. A little vacation time. That is awesome. Glad you're able to get some time off. Well, hopefully it's for your enjoyment. Right on. Sam says Sheldon Cooper from Big Bang Theory TV show. I have never seen one episode of that, so I'm gonna roll with it. We'll roll with it. Right on. So what's everybody up to? You guys working on anything? Any projects? What's going on in your world? How's everything in your little part of the world, the part of the country, all that sort of stuff? Cheers, everyone. Tasty cup of coffee this morning. I hope you all have a tasty beverage of choice. Maybe some hot tea for Sam or something like that. Hot cocoa. I don't know. Whatever it is. I hope you have it. Let's see. Time Surfing's here. That winter woolly coming in nice. I don't get too woolly. I just trimmed it like 4 or 5 days ago. I'll let it go for a little while and then it gets cut again. I'm not the big full beard going on. I'm not. Yeah, I don't know. Gotta have a little bit though. Keep the cheeks a little warm. I don't know. It's not really enough to do anything. Neptune says, no Big Bang Theory? You're missing out. Yeah. What can I say? I don't watch TV. Drissy Guitars, what's up? Drissy Guitars gives a wave. The wave. Drissy Guitars, what are you working on? What builds you got going on at the moment? Neptune says, I have mud water. Oh yeah, I've seen that mud water. Is it good? It's like supposed to be good for you or something. Healthy? Something like that? Right on. So let's see. Since we talked last, the video last weekend was for the wrench holders, the magnetic wrench holders. Did you guys see those? I mean, I know you saw the holders, but did you see the video? Pretty snazzy. Those came out really good. And if you looked on the website, I decided to make some in red and blue for like metric and imperial. But most of mine in the drawer are that gray color. But yeah, those worked really well. And so far that video's that's doing okay. But yeah, that's what I worked on. Neptunes, yeah, I've been busy 3D printing all kinds of stuff. So, you saw all the plaques, the 3D prints I had to do for the plaques, which I have a couple more of those to do. A couple last minute ones came in, but I haven't started on them yet. I'm waiting to make sure that I don't have any more last minute ones. I still have to go get wood and a few materials, but I'm not doing that yet till probably, I don't know, maybe next week. And I gotta knock out another couple of those. Also, some more 3D prints came in for that same project, for a different item that they used to have made. Now they're needing me to do some 3D prints for it. So I've already done some tests. This is something that we haven't even tackled yet. This is new. Sounds like I'll be doing some more printing for that. We'll see how that goes. I have to recreate a bunch of files, which is not horribly difficult. It is time consuming, but yeah. So I'll be doing some more prints for that. Of course, I've been doing the prints for the grooming blades, the shedders, and also I've been doing a lot of these prints for the wrench organizers. Yeah, it's been wild. The printer finally has stopped for a few days after printing for days and days and days on end with various different projects. Robert says, I was watching a Matthew Peach video this past week, and he had some bud vase out of some small rounds, old dead limbs. Oh, flat on the bottom, split in the middle, drilled a hole. Oh, that gotcha. Rounded the edge at the center, over with the belt sander. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, that would be pretty neat. So you just took a dead limb, drilled a hole. Yeah, that's kind of cool. Got to get it balanced just right, though, so it stands straight, right? I would imagine. Sam says, sorry I wasn't available last week. I was solo moderating 200 plus on a different live stream. None of my fellow mods turned up, so I had to mod on my own. No worries, Sam. It's, we made it through. Barely. I'm glad you're here today, though. Rick's here. Rick says, good morning, Jeff. Rick, what's going on? How are you doing? How's everything in your world? And Gina's here. Everybody's showing up. Gina says, hello all. Actually made it, but I'm homesick. Yeah, which sucks. It does suck. Yeah. Never fun. But glad you could tune in from over there. Neptune says, I really like the bamboo H2D. Can't afford it though. Yes, Neptunes. I've been pondering. It's a little out of the price range, but I don't know. It's tempting. There's a certain bit that's very tempting, especially with all these projects. It'd be kind of nice to have two printers. I don't know. But yeah, it does look super cool. Neptune says, hey, Gina, long time no see. I know, because you guys are always working. Robert says, Gina, hope you're feeling better soon. Yeah, me too. It's never fun. Sam says, Gina, hello. And Rick says, not much going on. Right on, Rick. Neptune, see if they'll sponsor you. That'd be kind of cool, wouldn't it? Would be kind of cool. I've got a couple. I'm not going to give it all away yet because I don't know if it's going to actually come through. But I've had a couple places reach out recently, not for 3D printers, but for certain things. And I don't know if it's hard to tell because I get emails literally daily, multiple emails daily about, hey, try our crappy whatever thing, dog toys, and all kinds of weird stuff. And it's weird. Most of the time I just hit delete and I never even open them. But once in a while there'll be one marked from a brand that I'm familiar with, or at least something for router bits or something like that, and it'll at least make me open it. But I've had a couple of them come through where I mean, things sounded legit. I don't know if they are, but if they come through, then maybe we'll have a sponsored video at some point here shortly. I don't know. There's just a couple things in the works. We'll see what happens. I can never tell if it's an actual legit thing or if it's if it's total bogus. So I mean, well, sometimes you can tell for sure, but sometimes you just don't know. I don't know. We'll see what happens. Speaking of sponsors, but yeah, be nice. Bamboo Labs. Yes, I do like your machines. So hey, if you're watching this, let's talk. I doubt they're watching it, but anyway. Let's see. Neptune says, get well soon. Donna's here. Donna says, coffee up, Jeff, and get well, Gina. Right on, Donna. Coffee up. Got it right here. Cheers. Rick says, I think Colorado is 2 hours ahead of California. It's 8:10. So just getting out of bed. No, we are 1 hour. Rick, we are, it's 9:15 right now. It's only 1 hour, so. You don't get to 2 hours until you get over into Kansas, and then Kansas is Central Time. Most Eastern Kansas is Central Time. Most of them really, but Colorado's only 1 hour. We're Mountain Time. Neptune says that sucks to get all those emails. Yeah, hey, check out our thing, and most of the time, the easiest way is if all they have to post is an Amazon link, there's 0% chance that I'm opening it. So, you marketers that want to work with people, if you truly want to work with people, don't send an Amazon link, because if that's all I get in the email, it's getting deleted. There's zero chance. Oh, let's see. Sam says, perhaps get some fluffy pink tools in the workshop for Gina or yourself to use. Well, nobody likes pink. Myself or Gina or Haley. Nobody likes pink. So, yeah, I don't think we'll do pink. Maybe fluffy. Not fluffy at all. Neptune says, make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Helps the channel get noticed more. Yes, everyone. Oh, and here's the thing. Remember we were talking about that whole hype function? Was it last week or the week before? The whole hype thing. In order to hype it, apparently you've got to look at them on mobile. When you open up a video on mobile, you go down to the comments section, apparently, and there's like three little dots or something on the comments thingy. You hit that and you hit hype. That's my understanding. So everyone, take your mobile video viewing device out, open up the channel, go to the latest video or all of the videos and hype them. Hype the channels, or hype the channel. I don't know 100% what it does, but it's supposed to help promote the channel. And it's like their newest thing. They always got to come up with some new way. Like how many things can we implement here? You got to thumbs up. You got to subscribe. You got to share. You got to now hype. You got to leave comments. You got to, But for those of you that do all the things, thank you. I really appreciate that. But yeah, go hype stuff. Let's see. Robert says, I did see the video about the tool organizer. Explain their function and method of the way you built them. Gina says, squirrel poop coffee is good. Thanks. Oh, that was Paul. Paul's not in here yet. I was kind of waiting to see if Paul was gonna pop in here. Rick says, oh, okay. I always get it one off. I was close, though. You were close. 1 hour, 2 hours. Gina says, pink is gross and purses are stupid. Sam says, people can only hype 3 times for free per week. Interesting. That I didn't know. Well, go use your 3 hypes, okay, and hype the Home Built Workshop videos. Yes, please. We gotta grow the channel. So what's on the workbench? My workbench is a mess right now. You just can't see it. Let me make sure this thing's not going to track me. There we go. I'm going to step out of the way. Mine is a mess. I'm going to step over here and show you what's going on. So, I'm working on cigar box guitar. I've got this one I've been talking about. After last week, remember I was talking about that lawnmower that I was fighting with, and I believe it was Big Sweet. So I don't know if he'll come in here. He said, you got better things to do. And that really struck a chord, and I really appreciated that comment. Got rid of that thing like an hour after the live. It was gone. And bam, we're building a guitar now. So like it. Cigar box. I got the box roughly, I got the notch partly cut in the end, but I haven't finished it yet because I'm working on the neck. Got the neck roughed out, fretboard glued on, cut to size, getting ready. Right after we're done here, we'll crank up the branding iron and we'll burn the logo in here. Yeah, so far so good. Now I still need to get the notch here ready so everything fits in the box, but yeah, I've been cranking along, working on the cigar box guitar. I got a mess over here. Show you that. I got my headstock thicknessing jig that I was using. I haven't picked it all up yet because I have to burn the logo in here. And every time I burn the logo, there is a chance, since I'm doing it manually by hand with a branding iron, there's a chance that it maybe it doesn't come out very well. And when that happens, then I take and I put it back on the sander and just sand it off and redo it. So until I get that brand on there nice and crisp and clean, I'm not going to clean this up yet, but yeah, that's what I've been working on. Probably, I think there's a bunch of hardware that's supposed to be in today, maybe tomorrow. I can't remember. Hardware for this little pickup, the bridge, all that sort of thing. I should have all of that stuff before too long. But yeah, kind of cool going through, just doing a new build. It's been a while since I've done a cigar box, so it'll be a fun build. Rick says, you're right, Jeff, that 5-way switch is a pain to solder. I'm sorry, Rick. I know. They're just not fun. And I don't know a fun way. I don't know any way to make it fun. You'll get it, though, if you haven't already. You got this. Robert says, still not seeing hype function even on my phone. Crude. All right, we're gonna look at this together. I'm gonna open up YouTube app. We're gonna go through this and figure it out. I'm gonna pick. I wonder if it's channel specific. Like if you have to have a certain channel. Let me make sure. I'm going to switch. I make sure I'm in the Homebuilt Workshop account. We're gonna go to this one here. We're just gonna go to this. I'm gonna get past this ad. Huh. Fly. There's a fly. Do you see me landed on me? Do I have to enable it? No, because it's not even my channel. Huh, yeah, that's weird. I don't see it either. Thanks, download clip, save, report. I wonder if you have to be subscribed. Let me pick a channel. Oh, I think you do. Yes, you have to be subscribed to the channel. You can't just open a random video. At least that's the only difference. So, here's a video right here. I don't know. I know you can't really see it, probably, but there's the 3 dots here. This is a channel I'm subscribed to, and when you swipe over, you have hype. Yeah, it's there. That's if I open up a channel that I'm not subscribed to, Oh, I guess I am subscribed to that one. Let's see. Let's open a different. Let's find something I'm not subscribed to. I'm not subscribed to that. I don't see hype. But why is it not? Huh. This is Adam Savage's channel that I'm looking at right now, and I don't see it whatsoever. There's not even 2 dots. I don't know why that is. But yeah, go to mine. Go to Homebuilt Workshop and scroll down. And everybody do it at the same time so we can get a good overview of if it's working or not. Go to my channel on your mobile phone. Go to the latest video. Scroll down to the comments thing and tell me if you see the 3 dots, and we'll take a full report. But yes, I think I saw, and then I'm going to go back up. Birdie says hype function isn't on live videos. I think you're probably right. But yeah, that's what I'm saying. Go back. Let's double check on the phone if it's there. Because if it's not, I need to figure out why. Maybe I need to turn it on, but I don't think that was an option. Let's see. Neptune says, check out Functional Print Fridays, terms for doing sponsored items. You got it from Teaching Tech and adapted it. Could be helpful. I will check that out. Yeah. Sam says, not sure if I already asked this. Is there any way to custom build a guitar with a regular guitar on one side and a bass guitar on the other, all within one instrument? So you're talking about, so you'd be playing and you flip it over like whoop that way, right? And have a bass. You could. The body would have to be really thick, right? So in order to accommodate the electronics and everything. But the problem is the neck would also have to be thick. And in order to play it, you wouldn't be able to round the neck on the back, right? It would literally be like a square because you'd have strings here and you'd flip it around and have strings here, right? So it'd be like trying to play something like this that had strings on both sides. But I guess in theory you could. Ulrich says, that guitar neck looks cool. Yeah, these things are fun. So this is just gonna be a 3-string. The fretboard, this is hard maple and Peruvian walnut. Because I'm not worried about using something like ebony or rosewood even, because it's 3 strings and this is going to be perfectly strong. It's going to be just fine. Some of this is going to get cut off. This is probably going to get cut, I don't know, a couple inches off of this to fit in the box. And then there'll be a notch in here roughly so that everything fits in the box. That's hopefully what I'm going to be working on today. I'm hoping. My goal is to get the logo on there, then get this fit to the box. I'm also going to have to glue another piece on here to kind of build up sort of a heel. But one thing at a time. We're getting there. These are fun to build, and it really makes you stop and think. If you're building like a solid body electric guitar or even an acoustic, right? There's just steps that you do. Bend the sides, glue the neck block, blah blah blah. Cut out the body. There's just steps. No matter the shape, right? You could build a totally brand new shape of anything, but it's really basically the same. And with a cigar box guitar, it seems like every one is a little bit different, right? Which is kind of the thing that I like about it. So inside each box that you get, it's gonna be different. Most likely, there's different construction. This one has this ledge here, which I'm gonna still have to cut some of that away. But some boxes are thicker, some are thinner, some are wider, some are narrower, some are built differently. And each one gives you a little bit of a different set of challenges to work with. and you just have to figure out, you kind of you have to work with each one individually, which is kind of the fun part. Let me see if I can mock this up for you. If I can get this together without breaking anything. Well, I can't get it at the moment. But anyway, just imagine, this being cut down a little bit. I think it's going to look pretty cool. It's going to be, it'll probably be something like this. If I can hold this where you can see it. It's going to be pretty cool. But yeah, each one of these is a bit of a challenge. I make all my necks the same way for the most part. The only thing that actually changes is in the heel area, and that depends on, really the box and kind of how things end up going together. Robert says, was trying to hype the stream. We're on now. Oh yeah. So then you said you can't see it on live. See, I don't know if you can. Jimmer! Jimmer says wrench holders. Yes. Did you like those? How are yours working out? And you know what I thought of, Jim? Was I should have done them like a lot of them like this. With the red. For red for imperial, blue for metric, like the Allen wrenches. So that's I might have to redo it. Neptune says, just emailed you the link, save you from having to look for it, and was able to hype. Right on! Nice! Sam says, I can't on my tablet computer. Neptune says, Sam, glad you clarified that. Started to think Jeff was a vampire. A vampire? What did I miss? A vampire. Not today. Rick says, don't use oak, because oak is heavy. Trust me, that stuff is heavy. I think cedar is lightweight. Used to try and split oak. Oh yeah, we used to burn oak. Jim says, excellent. They're working out excellent. Right on. Right on. Oh, Rick says, depends on the species. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely does. I like hard maple for necks. That is my favorite. It's hard and it's maple. I don't know. That's my favorite one. It just seems to work really well. Mahogany works great. I've used soft maple. Really, as long as it's maple. Maple, I think, is my preferred choice for a neck. There's tons of others you could use, though. I would not use oak myself. I know for stuff like this, lots of people use oak for like cigar boxes and stuff like that. But one thing that I do with my cigar box guitars, I try to build the necks almost exactly like I would in a regular, any old guitar neck. A lot of times, you can get away with being a lot more crude, if that's the way I should say it. I don't know how to say it. With a cigar box guitar, I like to make mine just as finished as I do with a regular guitar. But it's a cigar box guitar, so I don't know, it's just something I enjoy about making them. But yeah, I like maple. Tons of other options though that would work perfectly fine for a neck. Yeah, just oak would definitely not be any of my choice. Not that you can't. Sam says, are you stringing us along with guitars? I am stringing you along, Sam. Oh, let's see. Roger's here. Roger says, howdy from Texas. Roger, what's going on? How are you doing? How's everything in Texas? We got Texas representing today. We just need Paul. Where's Paul? Lark says, oh, wow. Neptunes. Sam said Jeff likes necks. Oh, on guitars, not humans. Gotcha. I didn't see that. Well, how did I miss that? I don't see that anywhere. Anyway, yeah, I didn't see that. Birdie Erdy says, do you have a truss rod in that cigar build? No, I don't. So all of my regular guitars other guitars have truss rods and 2 carbon fiber rods. I do that on bass guitars. I do that on regular electric guitars. Do that on acoustic guitars because I like the stability that you get out of it. But there's always a but, right? This is only going to be 3 strings, tuned to something like an open G, maybe an open D. I don't know, something that you can kind of bar chords or play with a slide. I don't put anything in there. There's no truss rod, no carbon fiber rods, and I've never had an issue. There's just no need for it, I don't think. Now, have I thought about it? Yeah, I have before, but I just don't think it would make a whole lot of difference. Would it hurt anything? Nope, wouldn't at all. But I just don't feel that for the 3 strings that are going to be on this, I just don't think it's necessary. As long as, what I've found, as long as you build the lower half sturdy enough, one time, actually it's one that I rebuilt last year. I rebuilt a 3-string that I built years ago. And it was never really playable. You can go back on the channel and find, it was the multi-scale cigar box guitar. I think it was last year, might have been the year before. But anyway, the only issue I had was that in order to make things fit in the box, I end up notching this out, right? So it has a notch that the lid can close down over. Well, that particular guitar I had to notch quite a bit in order to get it to work with the lid. It had one of those really thick lids. So, what happened was, even with 3 strings, there wasn't much material down here. So it bowed up. This part didn't bow. The neck itself didn't bow. It bowed right where I cut that notch at the body. So it basically kind of folded, not really bowed. And it made it unplayable. So when I rebuilt it, I changed some of the blocking and stuff inside the cigar box so that I could have this doubled up. That's the only time I've ever had anything really move a lot. I just don't run into an issue with only 3 strings on a neck like this, and especially with hard maple, it's just not going to go anywhere. Oh, let's see. Let's see. So Neptune, sorry, I lost my spot. Neptune says, "Hi Roger, Texas here too." Rick says, "The reason that's the reason why our saw blades are dull." Could be. It could be. Roger says, "Definitely hard maple." Yes, it's like the best, in my opinion. Yeah, super sturdy. And I would much rather have a neck that is super sturdy and stable than, use some sort of highly figured wood for the neck. Now, can you find hard maple with high figure? Yes, you can, but I don't think it's as easy to come by as some, like soft maple. But if I need a neck to be super sturdy, I'm definitely going to use hard maple over even a fancy figured soft maple. I like that stability. Oh, let's see. Sam says, "Hello, Roger." Rick says, "Cedar keeps the blades sharps." Rick asked, "Does it get hot in Texas, Roger?" I can imagine it gets super hot. Neptunes could tell us the same, probably. Sam says, "Are you set on all messages on the chat?" I don't even know where that's a thing, to be honest with you. Oh. It wasn't. It was on Top Chat. Huh. I'll be darned. Look at that. Oh yeah, look at that. Right there it is. There's the comment that I missed from you, Sam. Huh. Who knew? Thanks for pointing that out. Newbies. I tell you what. You'd think by now I'd know how this thing works. Rick says, "I'm gonna grab a coffee. BRB." Me too, Rick. Oh, let's see here. Neptune says it's still in the 90s here in southeast Texas. Whew. Yeah, we had a cold front come in, so we've got a day or two of cooler temperatures, which is kind of nice, but it is starting to get a little chilly in the mornings. Roger says, trying to catch up from yesterday. My VFD was called out for a commercial structure fire. Spent 4 hours on scene. Got home, showered, and fell asleep. Today's a catch-up day. Roger, thanks for manning that VFD. I definitely appreciate that. We need our volunteer fire departments. So, right on. My brother is also on their local VFD. So, right on. Thank you for that, Roger. Myself and your community definitely appreciate that. That's awesome. Yeah, you get to take a little time. That's a while. Oh, look who's here! Harry Dude's here! What's up? Harry Dude! Harry Dude says, what's up? Finally made it. Better late than never. Right on, Harry Dude. How are you doing? What's going on? How's Australia? You warming up? Sam says, Harry Dude, hello. Right on. Roger says, howdy to all my Texas neighbors. There's a fly. Go away. Rick says, it's 90? Holy crap. How do you folks keep comfortable down in Texas? I live in the mountains. Yeah, I know, Rick. I can only imagine. It gets pretty toasty down there. I've never been to Texas, but yeah. Probably lots of AC. Eco Woodcrafts, hey, what's going on? Sam said Jeff must need his glasses. Yeah, probably. I probably do. Robert says currently here in north central Oklahoma, it's 80 degrees. Feels like 90. Yeah, see, so you still got the toasty weather, Robert. Ours isn't done, I don't think, but the super hot stuff I believe is done. I think we're supposed to be back in the 80s for a few days. I don't know. Neptune says, Rick, it's also high humidity. AC, yes. Hey, dude, Sam. Hey, Sam. Or Sam says, have you got a license for that pet fly? No. No, I want him to go away. You can't just let him out the door, and because he'll be right back with 50 of his friends. It's that time of year when they start. It's like they know that the seasons are coming, so their whole entire job or their goal is to get inside and drive you crazy. Heritage says slowly getting warmer here, but you couldn't tell right now. Cold warehouse in the middle of the night. Yeah, it's coming. You're getting there. We are almost. Let's see. Another week, a few days actually. It's going to be the first day of fall, so you'll see the first day of spring. Here, dude. So that should be a good sign, right? Summer's coming. Roger says still in the 90s here in north central Texas, which is starting to cool down finally. Let's see. Neptune says, Harry dude, long time no see. Hope you're doing well. Right on. Sam, 18 in the UK. Paul's here. There's Paul. Paul says, hello. Just got a chance to look in. Hope all is well. Paul, cheers to you. We got we got the weasel poop coffee. It's good. It tastes good. It's super smooth, actually. Way smoother than I expected. Yeah. It's good. So thank you. Thank you for the sample. Harry Dude says, Neptune's good to see you. Battling on. Not dead yet. Hope we're doing okay. Eco Woodcrafts. Mega Wood says, hello, Jeff. What's up, dude? How's it going? Paul says, glad you like it. You're welcome. Yeah, it was, so I ground it up yesterday. I just ground all of it, so it was all done. And it smells super good. It made it this morning. For first sip, I think I put way too much half and half. Like it didn't even seem to take as much half and half. And took a sip and I had to second guess it because I was waiting for the kind of bittery whatever. I don't know. It's really good. Heritage says also called autumn here in Australia. Yeah, I wasn't sure which way I needed to go with that. Some people call it autumn here, but I think for the most part we just call it fall. I don't know why, maybe because the leaves fall, but yeah, it's about the same. Let's see. Paul says it's all I drink. Gina says thanks, Paul. Yes. Robert says, we really did not break 100 degrees that many times this summer. Thank goodness, but it was still very uncomfortable. We didn't either. We don't typically. I mean, I wouldn't say it's normal, but almost every year there's a couple of days that it'll go over 100, and that's maybe all we had. And I think that was early, if it even hit 100 at all. Other than that, it hasn't been all that bad. I mean, plenty of days in the 90s, but I don't know why, for some reason, June, it got pretty hot, but it didn't feel as hot as the thermometer said. And then here last month, I think it was August. Yeah, I think it was August. It wasn't that hot according to the thermometer, but it felt like it was sweltering. I don't know. It's just weird. I don't know if it's just like the beginning and end of season. I don't know. It's kind of weird. Hasn't been bad though, really. Oh, let's see. Paul says, Gina, you're welcome. Migat Wood says, coffee from weasel poop? Well, it's not really weasels, but I forget what those little critters are, like little raccoons or something. I don't know. Neptune says, to me, Autumn is an ex-coworker's name. Yeah, that is more of a name. Time Surfing says, here, Autumn is just a second summer. Well, yeah. down where you are. Yeah, I can see that. Paul says, civets. Yes, that's it. They're like Indonesian raccoons or something. Time Surfing, civet cats. There you go. Are they cats, actually? Not raccoons. Eco Wood, what's your top 5 woods to work with? Bam! There we go. Good question. See, that's what I like. So this is kind of tough because I got to think about, like, there's all these thoughts that run through my mind about, like, well, what are we building? It's like top 5 for guitars or top 5 for whatever. So we're just going to say top 5 in general. One I'm going to say is one that I use as much as possible because I have a bunch of it, but it's become one of my favorites. And that is elm. Mainly Siberian elm, or I believe otherwise known as Chinese elm. I think they're the same. I could be wrong on that. But I have a bunch of those. I have quite a bit of that still from right here from local trees that I've milled myself, and I've used it to build tons of things. And it's really become one of my favorites. I love the color. I like the way it looks, all that sort of thing. So elm would be number 1. I would say for sure maple. I guess I don't have a favorite particular species, but if I had to pick one, I'm going to say soft maple because you can get really nice figured stuff. I also like black walnut. I like Padauk. I don't use it very often, but I really like it. My first acoustic guitar was made out of Padauk. So let's see, we got elm, maple, walnut, Padauk. Now I'm looking around just to see if something. I'm gonna go with. I don't use it for hardly anything though. I'm trying to make a wise choice for number 5. I guess I'm gonna go with mahogany. That I was a little hesitant on that because I don't really use it for anything other than guitars, but it sure works nice. And yeah, I think so. I think that's it. Well, now I'm gonna throw it back to all of you. Leave in the comments wherever those are on your particular device. What are your top 5 woods for building anything? Let's just say in general. List them off. Type them in down there. Roger says, careful, it might be armadillo poop. Jimmer says, knew a girl named Misty Autumn. Oh, we call her Foggy Fall. That's funny. Sam asks, is your device okay? You might need to update the iOS and all the apps. I don't have an iOS. My device decides to update whenever it wants to update. Did I not plug this in? Why is the thing blinking? Paul says, they eat the beans, poop out the beans. People gather those, roast them. Very smooth coffee. Expensive, though. Shows rich people eat anything to show how different they are. I'm just drinking my coffee over here. Tastes nothing like armadillo poop. Neptune says, my top wood is any wood not in tree form. I don't do much woodwork. Oh, that's funny. Miga Wood says, it's some kind of tree. My top 5 woods are curly maple, Paduke, Brazilian cherry, zebra wood. I don't know what that middle one is. Nice. Yeah, those are good choice. Yeah, Paduke is super cool. Oh, Brazilian cherry. Oh, man. See, I didn't list cherry. Cherry's in that list there somewhere, too. Huh. Yeah, I do like cherry. If I look around here, though, most things are made out of... there's a lot of stuff I'm seeing that are made out of elm. That router bit holder, the stand that the laptop's on, that little cabinet behind the drill press, those neck carving jigs over there. There's a lot of stuff made out of elm. In the house, there's a bunch of stuff made out of elm. I just like elm. And then there's black walnut. There's like some plaque blanks there. Yeah. Time Servant says, we had a girl in high school, last name Crabtree. We called her Lobster. That's bad. That's bad. That's bad. Sam says, the V sign means... yeah, I remember that, Sam. You told me one. I forget which is which. I mean no disrespect. Paul says, my favorites are Coca-Cola, Paduke, and Boinia Burl. Also mahogany. Yes. Roger says, would love to find some sycamore. Yes, sycamore's kind of cool too. Time Surfing. Northern black walnut. Yeah. Cherry. Yeah. Red oak. Mm-hmm. Maple. And basswood. Nice choices. Yes. Cherry. I really wish now I put cherry on my top 5. If I were to revise it, what would I do? I'd still say elm. I would say maple. Cherry. Black walnut. Paduke. That sounds fair. Robert, the latest video from Matt Cremona, he was recovering a really big elm. I think I saw pictures of that. Yes, I like elm. I really do. Ecowood, Bloodwood, ooh, Sapelli, yes, those are good. That's good. Sycamore, walnut, mimosa. I don't know what that is. I thought that was a drink. Mimosa. Roger says sycamore, hickory, maple, black walnut, and cherry. Yes. Yes. See, I need to work more with sycamore. I don't think I've used sycamore enough to know if it needs to be on my top 5. Another one that I really like too, but I haven't done a ton with it, and that is sassafras. Have you guys ever worked with sassafras? Man, what an interesting wood to work with. The smell, it smells amazing. I've got a couple things made out of sassafras. It's got a cool color. Kind of a, what would I call that? Kind of a white oak color with grain like ash. Maybe. It's a very pronounced grain like you might find on ash, but it's a tight grain like maple. Maybe it's not quite as tight as maple, but yeah, it's just a cool wood. Let's see. Paul says, I did send a guy in Canada some stabilized moose poop. I had a nice chatoyance. I think you misspelled that word. The Jimmer says, sad to know, you know the difference between not armadillo poop and as I drink my raccoon poop coffee. Harry Dude says, I wish more of my projects were with actual wood. MDF and chipboard for shelves and boxes, and occasionally pine. I've done a couple of boxes in walnut and thought it worked easily. Walnut does. It does work easily. And it's got a, I don't know, it's got a cool smell too, I think. Sam says, perhaps custom build fold-up beds and other furniture. Yeah, you could. You could. EcoWood says, mimosa. LOL. I know, I was messing with you. Sempak and Rick's here. Says, good morning, folks. Rick, what's going on? How's things going in your world? Right on. Jimmer says, sassafras is root beer. It is in root beer, and that is what it came from. Yes, sassafras. The sassafras that I used came from a place up on Bird Creek, actually. We were back there a few years ago. Well, actually, this was probably 5 years ago on one of the trips back. We bought a bunch of maple syrup. You'll know where I'm talking about from the place, and was talking with the guy there. And he had a whole bunch of sassafras, and he gave me a few pieces. One of them was thick enough. It was like some 8/4, some 2-inch thick stuff. I built a guitar out of that, which now lives at a friend of mine's house in Missouri. And then also he gave me a couple of boards, some smaller pieces that I built a cowboy hat stand for my daughter and a couple other smaller things out of the sassafras. So yeah, it's super cool, and it smells amazing. I would love to get back over there next time we're out and see if he's got any more of that left, because yeah, it was pretty cool stuff. But yeah, sassafras was one of the ingredients, like the root in root beer. I mean, root was made from the roots. Roger says sassafras and persimmon are unique woods. Yeah, sassafras. I've never worked with persimmon. I don't know anything about that. But yeah, sassafras definitely is pretty cool. EcoWood says, I have almost 200 different species of wood in my shed. Whoa, that's a lot. You got quite the collection going on. That is cool. Robert, I made a wooden flute out of sassafras. It turned out nice, but nothing fancy on the grain or color. Oh, that's cool. A wooden flute. That would be fun. Yeah, I mean, the stuff that I had was not, I mean, it wasn't like figured or anything super wild. It was just a nice looking piece of wood, just nice grain. You know, like when you look at a piece of maple, right? The grain is there, but you can't really see it. It's not super pronounced. The sassafras, the grain is more pronounced, right? You got more light dark contrast, but it's not wild. It's not over the top. It's not, I don't know, at least the piece I had, it wasn't absolutely, it wasn't mind blowing. It was just a nice looking piece of wood. And it made a great guitar. Sam, there's an expensive coffee that's processed through a cat's back. Yeah, that's this. It's not actually well, it is a cat. It's a civet cat. That's what this is. Yeah, this was a sample that Paul sent me to try, and that's what this is. That's what I'm drinking right now. Jim says, I'm more of a stainless steel guy. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that whatsoever. Neptune says, to EcoWoods, sing Bloodwood makes me think of midnight oil. Beds are burning. How can we sleep when the beds are burning? I haven't heard that song in, I don't know, it's been a lot of years. EcoWood, I think apricot is the best smelling wood. I've never smelled apricot. Apricot, whatever, however you say it. I've never, interesting. I've got some. Let me grab this. The camera might follow me. I don't know if it's on. This is kind of cool. I don't know if you'll be able to see it. This is a piece. I probably ought to cut it so it's fresh. I've got a stick here. This is a stick of lilac. I trimmed some lilac bushes, I don't know, 2 years ago. And I cut this piece down, but this was, the heartwood here was almost a kind of a purplish color. You can't quite tell as much now. In fact, let me cut that. Let me take a little slice off of that and see. So hang on there just a second. I'm going to come over here and I'm going to try to take a slice to see. It's going to be loud. It's not quite as purple anymore now that it's dried a little more, but it's interesting color. And at the time, it had a really strong smell. Now it doesn't smell quite as strong. But anyway, my thought was with this, I was thinking when I saw this, I had in mind making rosettes for an acoustic guitar. I thought, if you take discs of this and then cut it at the angles you need, you could glue that up and get like a circle pattern out of that, or some kind of interesting pattern. And it still is kind of purpley looking, but I'm looking at it and I see quite a few splits in here now. So I'd probably have to come down here and cut that off because it is split down to here. But yeah, at the time I thought that was pretty cool, and it is a little bit purple yet. I think it would be kind of neat. Oh, let's see here. EcoWood says, I think, oh, the apricot. Robert says zebra wood looks pretty good, but it sure does not smell like root beer. More like dog poop. Sam, Marmite's made from leftovers from beer making. Interesting. EcoWood, the worst is yellow cedar. I would challenge that. The worst smelling? Is that what you're talking about? I would say possibly aspen. Aspen smells horrible. Jimmer says, I tried welding wood, but it gets smoky. Yes, yes it does. Sam says, maybe make a narrowboat furniture. For my narrowboat? Yes, for all the narrowboats here in the U.S. We don't have any narrowboats here. Let's see. EcoWood, ha. Roger says, any coffee with Bushmills Irish whiskey works for me. Poop or not. Fair enough. Neptune's right. I was laughing. Sam says, Jeff is sniffing branches now. I guess it's better than sniffing a log. EcoWood's strongest smelling is camphor. Yes, yes. I have smelled that before. Yes, definitely. If you like Vicks Vapor Rub, then camphor is right up your alley. Plus, when you work with zebra wood, it has a urine-like smell. Oh, great. Neptune says, isn't Marmite like Vegemite? If so, neither sound appealing. I would try them both. I've never tried either one, but I surely would. Yeah, have you guys ever done anything with lilac? I never would have thought about it, but like I said, when I cut this down, I thought it had a cool look to it. So I'm like, maybe you could take slices, especially if you did it on an angle, right, to get a little wider, longer piece. I thought it'd be kind of cool. Might be fun to use for an acoustic. Looking at this, I don't know. I guess there's only a few spots where it's cracked real bad. Right in here. Actually, no, that is cracked really bad. I don't know. Maybe I can't use it. Jimmer says at least he's not smelling the raccoon. The raccoon's been making a hole. Yeah, we've had a few we've had a few more of those raccoons lately that have been relocated. Darn things. I don't know if it's this time of year or what, but they keep coming in and we have to set the trap. Sam says Neptune's Marmite and Vegemite are made similarly, but there's a few differences. Google will give you more information. Ah. Interesting. Jimmer, you didn't tell us what's on the lift this morning. We want to hear what kind of cool projects you got working on. Ooh, almost spilled the poop coffee. What's on the lift? Neptune says, will do. I'll look it up. Sam Peckin, I'm late to the conversation here, but I made the guitar neck for the project I'm working on from a hardwood that I was told was white mahogany. It's quite a bright yellow. Know what it might be? Rick, I have no idea. I've never heard of a white mahogany. I've been working on a neck too. Working on a cigar box guitar build. I got the neck cut out, fretboard slotted, glued in place, cut the size. Now I need to focus on getting the logo on the headstock, and then I'll work on getting it fit to the box. Still waiting on a bunch of hardware pickups and that sort of thing. The pickup. I'm trying a different sort of pickup for this build. I think it's going to be cool. This box is a lot narrower than some of the other cigar boxes I've used. So I'm trying a surface mount humbucker pickup. I've never tried it before, but I don't have a ton of space to route in for a pickup. And once I did, I'd be removing a lot of integrity from the neck. So I've got a surface mount. It literally screws onto the surface. We're going to see how it works. It's a humbucker, so it's kind of cool. It's intriguing. So it's going to be kind of cool. I'll try that out. Yeah, it's going on so far. This build is going along pretty well. Of course, we're doing video on it. Probably going to be more than one video. I don't know where part one is going to stop. Maybe once I get the neck fit to the box, maybe we'll stop there then. Jimmer says, used to use lilac for bows and arrows when we were kids. I don't recall using lilac. I can't remember what I used to use. Probably any old green stick. Robert says, be right back. Gonna go make a cup of coffee. Paul says, I'm refurbishing 2 free lathes. One is for son, one is for selling. I saw that. Looks like a pretty cool find. Jim says, at home. It's a 1944 Willys MB Jeep. Nice. Yes, I saw that. That's cool. And at work, it's a Nissan and a Ram. A Ram, not a Dodge. Okay. You guys are going to laugh at me probably if you're like up to date on vehicles. So it was literally last weekend, basically last Thursday or Friday, when I realized that the Ram trucks of the day now, right? You see the Ram trucks everywhere. I just now connected the dots and figured out that Dodge had basically got rid of the truck division and Ram is now its own line. I didn't know that. I just thought that they kind of pushed the Ram branding, right? The Dodge Ram was a thing. Yeah, no, that's not the case. Apparently it's still owned by Chrysler, high level, but Ram is its own brand. It is not a Dodge. You can't go buy a Dodge truck now. Did you know that? I didn't know that. It's a Ram truck. Oh boy. Eaglewood says it's Yellowheart. Oh, maybe. Sam says, would you consider moving countries if you absolutely needed to? If so, what country would you move to? Yeah, I would if I needed to. I don't know. Honestly, Sam, really, there's a there's a handful that I would consider. Yeah, I don't know really. I don't want to start naming some because I don't really know. I don't know. There's a lot of things I'd have to look at. I don't know. I guess like there's a few some countries in Europe that would be cool. Of course, Australia would be cool. UK. Um, yeah, I don't know. There's a handful. I don't know. I'm not an expert on all of them, but I think there'd be some that would be cool. Like some of the far north ones would be fun, just because I don't know. Just there's something about it. But also some of the South American there's so many places that you could choose. I don't know. I can't pick one. Neptune says Netherlands. So yeah, that'd be cool too. Yeah, see like the Scandinavian places. I've got roots from that area from way back when. Would be kind of cool to track some of that down. I don't know. I can't pick one. Rick says thanks EcoWood. I heard that name too. Interesting. Rick says, if you folks ever get a chance to see Sammy Hagar All the Best Worlds Tour, go see it. Oh, good to know. I like it. I like concert recommendations. Rick says, some of you may have different tastes in music. Yeah, we all do, right? That's what makes us great. But, I mean, how can you pass up on some old school like Van Halen? Does he do any of Van Halen stuff in that tour? I don't know. Roger says, Ireland, for me, still have family there. Oh, see, that would be cool. I'm not aware of any other place where I have family. I know I have family from, by family, I mean, like my DNA traces, right? Traces back to England. Not Norway, but like, those Scandinavian countries and Central Europe, like Germany, that sort of thing. That's mainly where I'm from, my ancestry. So, but I don't know any family that lives over there. It's all from a different area. They're all from here. Sam says you want a universal healthcare system country. Oh, that. Yeah. Neptune says I can't stand these commercials popping up during the live. YouTube, you suck. Rick says no kidding, Neptune. Anyway, yeah, that's an interesting question, Sam. If you had to choose another place, where would it be? I don't know. I haven't put enough thought into it to make an informed decision. But yeah, there you go. Anyway, let's see what else. I think that's gonna about wrap this episode up. I got to get back to working on this cigar box. I don't know if I'll have time to get the video edited for this weekend. We'll see how that goes. Hopefully I can. But if not, this will definitely be the next video. Part 1 of this build will definitely be the next video of the cigar box build. So yeah, that's what we're into. We are well on our way with this particular build. So Rick says even the ad blocker doesn't work. Oh wow. Rick says, how long do top coats sit to cure? That's a good question, Rick. It's going to depend on a few things, right? Of course, it depends on what we're talking about, right? Are we talking about a lacquer? Are we talking about a water-based? Are we talking about an oil finish? A little more context would be helpful. What kind of finish you're working with? But I'm gonna go with a sprayed finish, right? Let's say I just sprayed 6, 8, 10 coats of clear that I'm going to level sand, maybe 12 coats, a bunch, let's just say a bunch of clear that I'm going to sand and buff, to a high gloss. That stuff is going to sit for at least 2 weeks, maybe 3 or 4 even. I want that finish fully cured before I start sanding on it and expecting to polish it out. If, we're just talking about something to be able to handle it, I mean, and it's a lacquer, I mean, you might be good in a couple of days. One rule of thumb that I go by is if you can still smell it, it's not cured. So it's still off gassing and it's not ready to be whatever. You said lacquer. So again, depends on what you're going to do with it. If you want to be able to just handle it, a few days, probably it would be just fine. And in a lot of cases, a few hours. Lacquer typically dries really fast. But if you are intending to level sand and buff it, I wouldn't even think about it for 2 weeks. I would just hang it up, let it sit. Just because I don't want to start level sanding, even with, 1,500, 2,000 grit sandpaper. I don't want to start messing with it before it's cured. And especially with lacquer, if you can smell it, start sniffing it. If you can still smell it, it's not ready. It's just not. And sometimes that kind of sucks because it can take a while. But, that sort of thing, as far as I'm concerned, if you sand through, yes, you can go through, respray it. But I try to think of it as I only got one shot to not screw that up. So if I got to wait another week, I'm going to wait another week. Robert makes a good point too. Says finish also depends on heat and humidity for curing time. Thinking of your location, I'm going to guess you got a higher humidity, so it might take a little longer as well. Yeah, I wait at least 2 weeks here. And our humidity is like ridiculously low. It's basically non-existent. Even when everybody else says, man, it's so humid. I'm like, what? You can barely ever hear or feel the humidity. I can't. But yeah, good point, Robert. Humidity makes a difference too. Rick says no to buff. No, you're going to wait for it to buff or you're not going to buff. Anyway, if you're going to buff it, I would give it another week at least. I would wait at least 2, probably 3, maybe even 4 weeks. I just wait. If you think it's dry, wait a little bit longer. Rick says I'm thinking of leaving Facebook because of all the scammers. Yeah, it's a slippery slope. Sam says, don't forget to smash the like button. Totally free and very much appreciated. It is very much appreciated. And as soon as we're done here, everybody go back to on your mobile phone device, go on last week's video, scroll down to the thing by the comments, swipe to the left, and hype the video. Hype the videos. Apparently it's mobile. It's a mobile thing. But go hype. It's free, I believe. Roger says, have a great rest of the week. Neptune says, thank you all for stopping by. Please hit the like button before you leave. Yes, please close the door and hit the like button on your way out. Neptune says, thanks, Sam. Harry Dude, cheers, folks. Have a great week, everyone. Right on. You too, Harry Dude. Stay warm in Australia. Stempak says, I'm buffing it. Yeah, definitely just wait. I would give it no less than 2 weeks, Rick. I would not wait any less than that. Drizzy Guitars, cheers. Sam says, thanks for the fantastic stream today, Jeff. Thank you all for tuning in for this episode of Wednesday Live here at Homebuilt Workshop. I'm going to get back. I got a cigar box guitar to start working on, or to get back to working on. You guys, thank you so much for taking some time out of your day to hang out here with us live. As always, we'll be back next Wednesday. Same channel, same awesome hangout time. I don't even know what I'm saying. Anyway, you guys, thanks a lot. We'll catch you all next week. Stay safe, stay well, get on your shops, build some cool stuff, and have fun. Thanks again. We'll see you later. We're out of here. Back to work. Later.